Hey, good evening. It's your girl Trivonne coming at you live from the 215. I was summoned this week to actually do something a little different that actually challenged me in a big way. I ran into a young man who I've now hired as a coach, and it's so cool how God has people positioned for you when you're ready to take a step. Many of you know, like, I've been on Facebook for years, sending inspirational messages daily, and I've been doing it for about 5 or 6 years. And I've had people ask me several times to actually start doing videos. And I kept saying, oh, yeah, I'll do one. Finally, this year, I said, you know what? I've been talking about it. It's time to do it. And it's actually pretty cool how when you make up your mind and you step out on faith, how God puts people in your path. So I ran into this young man who sent me a friend request, and he said to me, Triv, you're ready. And with your first assignment, I want you to speak on this topic. I said, okay, I'm up for the challenge. So the topic was, are you woman enough to allow a man to be a man? Well, anyone that knows me know that I love the dating scene as far as talking about it, and gender roles. You know, in our community, we have, it's crazy. We've switched roles, and a lot of women, we're out here doing our thing. We're doing our thing. We have good jobs. You know, we're going to college, we're getting degrees. You know, we're driving what we want. We live where we want. You know, we travel where we want. So we have it going on. And so when you have females that are in position like that, you know, a lot of the topics that we talk about is like, you know, allowing a man to come into your life. And what does that mean? So the topic, are you woman enough to let a man be a man, hit home for me. And it hit home for me because I've been blessed with both worlds. I've been married and now divorced. And I'm going to tell you something. I've learned some valuable lessons as a divorced woman, probably way more than I learned as a married woman. You know how the saying goes, right? Sometimes you don't really learn lessons until you no longer have it. So for me, that's a very sensitive topic. Are you woman enough to let a man be a man? So I'm going to speak on what I think about this topic, but I would welcome your comments. And based on the comments, I'm probably going to go live, because one of the things that I want to do with doing my videos is provide a safe space for women, for everyone to be able to talk, but mainly topics for women, because a lot of times we get ostracized, you know, based on the topic that we're having. So I want to be able to provide that safe space where we could talk freely, right? Because good, bad, or indifferent, the topic is heavy. Are you woman enough to be a woman? So when I'm done with this little 5-minute clip, I would love it if you guys would share the video and give me your comments. Doesn't matter what your comments are, I would love to hear from you, right? So, coming from where I've come from, first we have to decide, what is the makings of a man? Everybody has a different definition of what a man is. For me, I grew up with a man's man. My parents have been happily married for 53 years. All I know is a male who stepped in and did what he needed to do. It wasn't about, you know, it wasn't about just cutting grass and taking out trash. My daddy cooked, he cleaned, he respected my mother, he took care of me, he combed my hair. I mean, he did things that some people would deem as a woman's role. So when I'm talking about the makings of a man, I'm used to that man opening the door. I'm used to that man, you know, being very respectful. You know, a man that respects a female, whether it's his mom, his aunt, his sister, that's the makings of a man. A man that has respect for women all across the board, right? So when you're talking about females like myself, people that are in my circles, a lot of women out here, we have it going on. But what we don't have is the makings of a man. No matter what roles we play at home with our kids, you know, when the father is absent, some of us come in and we step in and try to play the roles of the mother and the father. But it is impossible. A woman, no matter how alpha she is, cannot be a man. right? So that means sometimes when we get into a relationship, it's difficult. It's a power struggle. We're struggling for power because we've had it so long. So men, I'm going to tell y'all to just, when you find one like us, we're not bad people. We've just been thrust in roles that we're used to playing all the time. So it's hard for us to relinquish some of that power. But I'm going to tell you in hindsight, from being a married woman, one of the things that tore my marriage up was I wasn't woman enough to allow that man to be a man. You know, my husband did a lot of things outdoors. He fished. He was in motorcycle clubs. He worked and he had his own business. So he was out of the house a lot. So I stepped into several positions, and when I stepped into those roles, when he came back into the home, it was hard for me to give up that role because I was used to playing all the roles, all the positions, taking out the trash, doing what I needed to do. But I'm clear, as of today, that with all these things going on, a lot of us are still not in serious relationships. And a lot of the reasons we're not in serious relationships is because of the power struggle that ensues. An alpha female, it takes a lot for us to step back. But I used to hear, my mother would always tell me, and older women, you got to let a man be a man. You got to let that man make mistakes. You got to let that man be flawed. If that man is respecting you, that man is loving on you. That man is loving on your kids. That man is a provider. That man is making sure you're secure. No matter what it looks like, if you know these things and you can identify that that man really loves you, is it that difficult if you're getting what you want to really allow a man to be a man? So my question to you is, what is it that you want? Even being that alpha female, we all desire a committed relationship. And if you don't, it's because it might be something in here that we've just covered up over and over again. And we've lied to ourselves, making ourselves believe that we don't need a man. But that's one thing you'll never hear from me, because man was made for woman and woman designed for man. So to you alpha females and just females in general, ask yourself this question. Are you woman enough to allow a man to be a man? Move out of his way and allow him to get in position. Because there's nothing as sensual as a man who's allowed to be a man, who gets in position, and neither one of us have to look back. So I welcome your comments. I would love to hear what you have to say on this topic. And I thank you so much for your time. Be blessed. Be encouraged. Signing off from the 215. It's your girl, Trivonne. I'll see you again shortly.